Hey, hi everybody. Hi Sadie. Hi Levi.
Hello.
Boy, we've got one heck of a show today, don't we?
We sure do.
Yeah. I'm looking at two amazing dogs backstage back there, and they're just amazing. So, wow. Before we get started, we actually I saw a question come in, and Patty asked if there was transportation to New York, and at least I'm trying to bring it up here. There it is. And the answer to that is I believe so.
Yes, the answer is yes, absolutely.
That's what I thought.
So please do apply on our website.
Yep, you go to Great Pyrenees Rescue Society.org. Trust me, you'll see that address in his show quite a bit today. So
but we do have a transport that goes to the East Coast now.
Okay, all right. So I don't have to bring your last one up. We just answered it. Plus, Rena's down there answering it. Hi, Rena. So, boy, have we got a good one coming up today. So, but first of all, we got a special one. We got to talk about. We have The dog back in 2017 that was adopted, she was known as Ruby back then, and she got adopted. And they've been calling her Rosie ever since then. So I'm sure that's what she answers to. Well, they turned into a bonded pair, and the husband and the wife is battling cancer that I'm not sure looks good or not, but any cancer, no, there's no such thing as good cancer. So, and then the husband suddenly died, and now she has to return, surrender the dogs back to the rescue, both of them. All right. So there's a black lab and a Great Pyrenees named Rosie coming. All right. Or Ruby. However, I don't know what the database is going to say, but let me get their pictures up here. I can do that. At least they're way down here. There's about 100 pictures up here. So bear with me. All right.
And that's one of the things I think while you're doing that, Steve, is I can talk about is now that these two lovely dogs who are well loved have become a bonded pair. We never separate a bonded pair. So we've taken them both in because they are each other's best friend. And we would never want to break that up. It's really important to both of their health and happiness to stay together. So that's really important to us as a rescue.
And it says that that they're both good with kids, cats, good on a leash. Wow, maybe I want them.
I know. They're lovely. Yeah, they're lovely dogs.
Now they do get a little excited when they see other dogs, or maybe they get goofy looking. I don't know here. But boy, she's a good looking lab, isn't she?
Yeah.
I love this picture.
That's a cool one.
They just don't look very amused. That's all. But they're good dogs, and they're in a rough situation right now, and kind of urgent because you don't know where cancer goes from here. Okay, you just never do. So, and also, boy, I'll tell you that Rosie, boy, that's a good looking girl too.
Yeah.
But Sydney's absolutely right. What I've noticed about the rescues is if there's an indicator that they're a bonded pair, they won't separate them just in case. All right.
Do you know about how big they are, Steve? Just curious.
I'm sorry?
Do you know about how big they are?
That's what I'm looking for, and I'm not sure. Rena is watching the show. She'll put that in the comments. But I don't have handy. I don't think I have their age either.
I can look it up really quick. Yep.
Okay.
They also are used to going to the store with their person, and they're good. They are good citizens in the store.
I heard rumors that one day they went to the store without them. They made them go back and get them. So now it says Daisy is exuberant, typical lab, affectionate, loves to play, eat, and loves to be close to her human. Yeah. Now it says, unlike Daisy, Rosie isn't very interested in playing with toys. Daisy loves to play, especially fetch. So there you go. And
so,
pretty normal.
Yeah. So Daisy is about 85 pounds, and she is about 7 years old.
Okay.
And then Ruby, aka Rosie, is about 90 pounds. I'm sorry. Right now she's a little bit slim. She's about 77 pounds, and she could stand to be about 90. And she's about 6 years old.
Wow, they're getting to their perfect age.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's a good age.
That is a very good age. So, Great Pyrenees Rescue Society.org, they're listed, and they need a new home. And now right now they're still with the prior owner in the Pacific Northwest. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, anything to add, Sydney?
Within the last year or two, we had a previous pair of two girls, a female peer and a lab, who were bonded. And Rena actually helped that bonded pair find a home. to a really lovely adopter. So it's kind of cute that we have that opportunity again to help appear in a lab bonded pair again.
And if you can't take them, spread the word. That's all you got to do. Share the show. All right. That's a good way to do it. So anyway, wow. Well, let's move on. What else did we have? We answered the question. We covered Rosie and Daisy. Oh, we got a show to do. Do you have anything before we move up here to our first guest? Okay, so we're doing something here. We're trying something out. We ain't going to be trying something out. But there are fosters, and there's people in this country that just don't have the technology to come onto a show like this live. So does that mean we don't get to show the dogs? Nope, not anymore. We're going to show them anyway. Okay. It's the next best thing to them being here live. Okay. But first, we got a live one. Well, actually, no, she's not. I think she might be asleep. We've got us one here. Her name is Sadie. And she came out of a hoarding case in Texas. Is that right, Sydney?
Yes.
And
I think it was 120 dogs.
There was somewhere, I think I read over 120 dogs at one point. I read. Yeah, a lot of dogs. And there was only 2 Pyrs in there. And GPRS took them both. And Sadie is one of them. And Sadie made us a little video that we're going to play, and we're going to bring her up. Well, that's the first time in a long time I was saying, hurry up, video, get over. I want to see her. Wow, what a girl. I like the part where you have to text your neighbors so they can come out of the house so she will come back up the driveway after they pet her.
Isn't that great? Once she knows where the neighbors live, then they're a regular stop. We make a couple of regular stops when we go out for walks.
Wow. So pretty soon they'll just be waiting on her if you do structured walks, right?
Yeah, that's exactly the case. And she'll walk up to the house and then peek her head around the backyard. Maybe they're on the side, and then she'll sit in the driveway. Okay, you have to do the thing. You have to text them. Can you call them, make them come out, please?
I'll tell you what, that is one transformation, just an amazing transformation that she has made from that hoarding situation to what we see now. And how long has that been?
7 weeks now. 7 weeks.
Isn't that
Yeah.
something, Levi? 7
Yeah,
weeks.
that's a pretty good one.
And
Those are some good pictures too.
oh yeah, he did some good ones. But the transformation is obviously she didn't want to be in a hoarding situation. She prefers it in a home, doesn't she?
Yes. She
Good.
prefers quiet and calm and the ability to sleep a lot.
Belly rub.
Belly rubs. Excuse me.
There you have it, everybody. There you go.
That's my kind of dog.
Yeah.
Me too.
I have one at home now that'll turn. She'll lay next to me, and if I don't rub her belly, she'll turn a little further upside down. Then pretty soon she'll start doing barrel rolls. Dad, where's my belly rub? Now, apparently she's good on a leash. She gets along well with people. I mean, is there anything that she gets in trouble for?
How dare you?
There we go. You're still on a roll, Sydney, GPRS. Man, we've been all year with perfect Pyrs.
No, really, she's just a delight. I mean, she's kind of a sloppy drinker.
Well,
So I
that's
keep
not
the
her.
bowl outside on the porch, but other than that, she's just a peach.
If you would give her a sippy cup, she wouldn't have to go through that.
Yeah, you raise a good point.
I know a lot of humans that are sloppy drinkers, and we keep them around.
Yeah,
I am
that's
one
true.
of them. So now, what about cats? Has she been around cats?
No, we haven't been. We've been around small dogs, and she's, interested. She is interested in squirrels, but she wouldn't eat one.
So
The other was if a dog is exuberant, she'll either just stop, or if the dog continues, then she'll give him a what for? You need to calm down.
she's a mentor dog.
Yes. Oh, more than you know. That is so true.
Yeah. I can imagine what her role was in that hoarding situation. It does.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Now, do you see, as long as the cat gives their belly rubs, I think the cat would be fine. So, I mean, she's raised that paw up a few times now because you slowed down.
Sure. I think she would be fine. She's pretty docile as far as, other creatures go.
And then the sunset.
Isn't that something?
She loves watching the sunset in the easement.
Yeah, when she first arrived, she wanted to walk a very small loop. And she figured out in the easement that we could hang out at the top of the easement and watch the sunset, and that was her favorite thing.
Okay.
I had thought maybe it was a coincidence the first couple times, but then that was just like her that became her thing, and so that was a fun experience.
Yeah. Now, how much does she weigh? She's around 100 pounds, isn't she?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Is she overweight? Is she at a good weight in your opinion?
I think she's at a good weight. My neighbors all say they think she's at a good weight as well. So.
Well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Consensus is that poll was taken. So
there you go.
And the majority. Do you have any questions, Sydney?
I do. So have you taken her on any car rides or anything yet?
I have not.
Okay.
So both between getting her kind of rehabilitated in the house and in the walks, like when we go for walks, we go in increasingly larger paths.
Yeah.
And in the house, we go, increasingly in different rooms and things like that. And she's okay in the garage, but she's still reluctant to get in the car.
Okay.
I would love to take her for a car ride. I tell her all the time, the world would like to meet you. But I think she's been through enough that, I'm not going to, if she doesn't want to do something, I'm not going to force her to do it.
We got a tip of the day, Bill. Where do you keep your car? In the garage?
Yes.
Okay. open your back door, the door you want her to go in, just open it, and just that's that, and let her sniff it out herself. Put a couple treats in there, maybe. Doesn't matter if she's treat motivated or not. Something that she can relate to, and let her figure it out.
Oh, that's brilliant.
No, it's not.
I like that. That's a brilliant idea.
No,
I'll have to try that.
Coming from me. I copied that from Levi. All right. But yeah, try that and see how that works out, because the garage door's shut and everything is, I mean, can't hurt anything.
Sure,
And that
sure.
way she can do it on her own terms.
Yeah,
That
and
is
I
such a
think
good
that's
idea.
yeah, I think that's a good point too, is that when you have a dog that they've had so much of, they came from a really yucky situation, you can't do everything at once with them. And that's the important thing that you're doing with her, is you do kind of layers of things for her to get comfortable. And it's the same with the foster puppy I have now. You just can't do everything at once, or you will overwhelm them so much that they'll shut down again.
Yeah. That's why I was amazed at the progress in a short 7 weeks. That's a short amount of time, considering where she came from. So, and there is no timer. There's no timer on any of this.
Right.
He's petting the timer, right? And the dictionary. So, because they're the ones that define
everything goes at the dog's pace, not
That's
ours.
Right. Yep, that's correct. Now, this George, it's a foster. It's the man that actually found out about her. Hi, George. I ought to just call you and put you up to the speaker and let you, I put you up to the microphone and let you say it. She rode in the car with him.
That's true.
He didn't walk her.
I think George might be more charming.
George is charming, isn't he? We'll talk about him later. His dog's going to be on. Right?
Awesome.
But he's not.
George is awesome. George is awesome.
Right. And but yeah, George is kind of responsible for her coming into rescue. So thank you, George. But 7 weeks is a short amount of time for as far as she's come. She loves the sunset. Now, so she's still learning to walk, because she walks great backwards, doesn't she?
She does. That's how she summons me. I work from home, and the office is adjacent to the bedroom. And so she'll stick her head in the office and then walk backwards, stick her head in the office, walk backwards. Excuse me, I'd like to spend some time with you if you don't mind.
That's cute.
So she's a people dog then, obviously.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Now on that walk in the video, it showed a fenced-in area. Isn't that where her fan club is?
That's true. Yes, I live next to a park, and so we go for a quick walk at 1, and then we go for a proper walk at 6:30. And the 1 o'clock walk, we walk down to the park, and that's where her fan club is. And if she looks around, and if she sees anybody, I tried to video that in the and it's in the video. You can see she's looking around. She sees people. They're at the play set, and she says, you can see she's saying, I think they would like to meet me. And so she makes a beeline to say hi to them. And of course they adore them.
The video editing software, I actually have a version of that where I did zoom in on it. It just didn't fit. There's only so much tune to a video, okay? So much song.
Yeah, sure.
And I felt the other ones were equally important to play. But Ben, I'll tell you what, you've done good work here, and thank you for fostering her. And I bet you every day she thanks you.
Oh, it's just been awesome. It has just been so great.
Hands from you, one of the two.
Yeah.
Look at her. She moved. Yay.
Yeah,
somebody, so that means somebody that's very active and hikes all the time. That probably she's not quite ready for that yet, but do you think she would enjoy that as time goes on? She's 3, right? Around 3 somewhere.
She's 3. When she first, at one point we were walking 3 miles a day, And just because I'm sort of I do jujitsu and I've hurt my knee. We've cut it back to 2, but if she had her druthers, we would be walking 3 miles a day.
Wait a minute, you hurt your knee and you're still walking too?
Yeah.
I hurt my knee and I whine all the way to the bathroom. Okay, so anyway, wow. Great Pyrenees Rescue Society.org. That's where Sadie's at. She's kind of a celebrity amongst the rescue. I had somebody ask me one time, do you guys save the best for last? And didn't know how to respond to that because they're all the best.
That's true.
Does that make them all last?
They're all good. Yeah.
They're great. That's a
She's a
good name.
good-looking girl. She's gorgeous. And she's perfect peer again, everybody. There it is. Don't dally on her. They're going to snatch her right out from under you if you don't apply. You got to apply.
Plush coat. Oh, it's so good.
How does she do with brushing? Have you brushed her? Well,
oh my gosh, she loves brushing.
Wow. One of mine will throw you around like a rag doll if you even show him the brush.
Oh, no. She loves to get brushed.
Oh, she's beautiful. And the key to this, too, also, as I said something that Bill supported, she'd make a good mentor. Okay. So if it's always good in a lot of cases, depending on the dog, to have a friend for them at your home. And a lot of times that's why people adopt, is get a companion for their dog. And she would make a great mentor for a puppy, wouldn't she?
Oh, absolutely.
Nancy wants to know if she's been around kids.
She loves kids. She loves kids. When we go to the park, very frequently there'll be little kids there, little children, and she just loves. She'll seek them out, and they, will pet her, and she likes bum scratches, and they'll scratch her bum, and she just thinks it's awesome, and it's just mutual admiration society.
Serena says hi, Bill. Hi, Sadie.
Hey.
Yeah, Serena's watching. Hey, she left. She actually moved, and I missed it.
Oh, she's out
watch the rerun,
doing her sloppy drinking outside.
Okay. How about is she a big barker?
No, she's okay. So here's what happened. When she first arrived, she would wake me up in the middle of the night. I have a humongous dog door. She would wake me up in the middle of the night. I need to go outside, but I don't want to go by myself. And so I'd go out with her. And then she eventually, after a couple of weeks, she started using the dog door. She didn't need accompaniment. And then 2 weeks ago, in the middle of the night, I heard bork, bork, bork. And I was like, is there another dog outside the fence? And she started patrolling. She started going out at night and walking the fence line.
Wow. She didn't have a job at the other place. Ain't that
Yeah.
something?
But also, I think that's a testament to her developed confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a different dog from the early part of the video to a little bit late. That's a different dog we was looking at.
Sure.
And, even though I knew that it was her pictures, it was like, man, how are people going to believe this is the same dog? So we eased into it. Now Sharon wants to know. She says Sadie seems quite social. Is that a little unusual for Pyrs? Well, yes and no. Depends on the dog.
Right.
And Sadie is one of those that is a people magnet.
Yeah, no kidding, because she's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
So this is when she first got here. I got her this plush bed, and she didn't want to use it. And that's just another thing. Is about maybe a month ago, she declared, "This is my bed."
Lori says that she is gorgeous. It sounds like her, Mr. Tibbs, patrolling the fence line. Lori's up in New York, up in the Finger Lakes region, and she has a special Akbash boy, Akbash Pyr mix that patrols the fence line too. And that boy, he's kind of the leader there. Everybody kind of follows him a little bit when they want to pacify him. But he got put in his place by a little Kuvaz one night that live on the show that he walked backwards just like Sadie did. Only his was a little hurried. He didn't want a little girl eating him. So, but Mr. Ted is an amazing boy.
Yeah, and I think just going back a little bit to whether peers are social or not, to not assume that because they look like a really inviting polar bear to go up to them immediately and just dig your fingers in their fur, because some of them are, you have to earn it.
Right. Livestock guardian breed.
Yeah, and
they're the best in the world.
My Pyrenees that I adopted from GPRS is very much like Sadie. I will take him to Saturday market to meet new friends because he loves that. That just is his happy place. But other peers, they take time to warm up, and you need to earn the right to kind of shower them with affection. And so that's important to not make assumptions either way,
right,
and to give them some time.
Right. One last question, then we got to move on to Ying, because we don't want Ying to get mad at us because she might turn unsocial over it. All right. Can you trim her nails? Have you tried?
I've never tried. We walk so much, it's not really a problem. They just kind of
self-trimming, except the double do's. They don't self-trim.
Right. I just keep an eye on that. Yeah.
Okay. But you haven't had the need to try yet. Let us know.
Correct.
Keep us up to date on that one if you would.
Sure.
Because we're curious about that. All right. Great Pyrenees Rescue Society.org. Bill, thank you for coming up here and showing her to us. Boy, I'll tell you, no regrets here. I'm glad you did.
Oh,
wow.
I love that slow lean. That's my favorite.
Yeah. Wow.
I wish mine did that.
Oh, well, if you quit beating on them, Levi, they might.
Oh.
Yeah, you're right. I just have to stop screaming and
That's
beating
the
them.
last thing Levi does, which is why they don't have to go do that to him because they're secure. So, but that's also not a surefire sign of insecurity either. Don't get me wrong. I guess I better shut up while I'm ahead. So anyway, wow, Bill, thanks. We got to bring us another one up here, and this is a little girl. I knew a little bit prior, but she has a video too, and we're going to open up with that. And Bill said he's going to stay up here with us, and that way, in case Sadie moves again, we get to see it. All right. But she'll most likely go to sleep now because she'll be out of the spotlight. So here's Ying's little video. Then she'll be here when this ends. Wow, that was a toe tapper, wasn't it? There is Ying. There's that little girl right there. Well, hi, Celestia. Well, we can't hear you either. So we don't have any audio from you. That's why we try to come in early. We don't hear you at all. And I don't know what to do about that one right now. So, but there's Ying. I guess I can go off memory what I know about her. Celestia lives on a farm, but she has a working dog who that's her mentor, believe it or not. There's scary thought, but that dog comes inside too. So, now I don't know why nobody can hear you, Celestia, because you're not muted.
Is your iPad or your laptop muted, Celestia? I think your computer or laptop is accidentally on mute.
I don't think she can hear us either. So interesting. Maybe you should text her. I'll move her off to the side, and we're going to let Levi. No, maybe we'll talk about one of the other dogs. How's that? Actually, you have to talk about one of them, Sydney, so you can't do too much texting there. So we're going to take her out of the spotlight for a second. Just take us all out of the spotlight for a second. How's that? But I think that might be right because she is on her iPad. She did tell me she got a new case for it, and it could have muted it while she slid it back into the case. Because I know she knows how to do this because we had a video call one time. And it went very well. Boy, I love those iPad cameras too. So anyway, we have, we're going to touch on something. Last week, we ended the show asking if you guys had any the nutritional questions. All right. Actually, it looks like we have a question down here. Do you see that question, Levi? You read it, see if it needs to come up while I keep going because I don't want to stutter here and nobody fill in for me. You're muted, by the way, Levi. I see you were muted. Wow. Okay, say something, Sydney. Make sure I can hear somebody.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I could. We heard Levi before. I don't know what the heck happened. That's really going to be interesting if our guest host loses his audio and he has talking points. Gotta love live though, don't you? All right. Say something, Levi. See if we got you back. Nope, don't got you back. So anyway, leave the studio and come back. And I'll go ahead and check this one out. I think it's just a statement. I don't think it's a question. It's just a positive statement about the Great Pyrenees. Nancy adopted Gus from a rescue, and he was about a year old. That was in November. He continues to be really destructive in the house. Okay. And he's chewed deck furniture and loves walks. Yeah. Then he comes, well, of course, he just had a good deck furniture eating. So, yeah, he's going to go for a walk. All right. And, but he does well in the crate. Wow. I guess I don't understand where this one's going. Just drives you crazy.
Can you hear me now, Steve?
Oh, yeah. Now we got you.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah. All right. So,
yeah, so it's I feel like it's a couple-part
and Sydney
question.
are working on her audio. All right. So if anybody has questions from last week on the nutrition, that's where we left off. Remember with Julie, and she said
I can also address this one through Nancy here if and when other questions come through. So just looking for things that we're looking to chew, and maybe why we're chewing too much / being destructive. Oftentimes this is attributed to boredom. And it's also that just in general, chewing for dogs, not even just puppies, but dogs in general, and your mileage may vary, but chewing is a very good physical and emotional stress outlet for them. So regardless of the age, regardless of the breed, some dogs just chew more than others. And so if that either means we need more mental enrichment, be it puzzles, games, interaction, or if we just need more or different items to stimulate chewing. So just depending on what you're doing, first and foremost, we always avoid rawhide. Rawhide has about 18.4% chance of digestibility. So It's more likely a blockage than anything else. Otherwise, know what your dog's bite force is. So dogs that try to bite through a brick, let's not do anything too hard because then they'll likely shatter their teeth on it.
Right.
Different things like Himalayan cheese chews, moose antlers, elk antlers, bully sticks, and chewing should always be monitored.
All right.
But that's something that can always be separately addressed.
Yep. All right. Sounds like we have audio from Celestia now, do we?
Hi, guys.
Hey, boy. There we are. There's everybody now. Good. Now let's get her back up and let's start over again. Sydney, you start over again.
Well, Yang is just a big and gorgeous girl.
And a puppy.
Yes, she's bored to death. She's been a good girl for half an hour.
We saw you down backstage, her wanting to wrestle with you, or the other way around, whatever came first. Now she's been kind of a handful for you a little bit at a year, less than a year old, right? She's about 8-10 months, something like that.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking. And yes, she is a very busy puppy. She may be big, but she's got puppy brain. She's smart. She's friendly. She tries very hard to be a good girl. And right now she's trying to sit on the couch with half her butt hanging off. So,
and she doesn't know why she's not stable. And I love that picture of the Easter bunny rabbits on her because I like it when people dress their dogs up because everybody says, "Oh, how cute." I look at the dog.
and
That dog's not amused.
she was doing better with that than the flower garland that the girl was helping me wanted her to wear. She was not with that.
Now she's only a year old and less than a year old. She's a big puppy, and always remember a Great Pyrenees, their bodies will grow about 3 times faster than their minds develop when they're young like that. They're slow bloomers in that respect. Their bodies keep going. And sometimes they don't get the memo when it's time to stop growing. That's why you got humongous Great Pyrenees. But she's a puppy, and we just got to find the way she receives the signals. Okay, every dog is different, and that could be where Celeste is struggling a little bit. But thank goodness you have your big boy, huh? What's his name?
His name is Rufus, and he's been begging to be let in. That's your option.
Oh, you can let him in. Now,
The more the merrier. Yeah.
Didn't he come from GPRS also?
No, I traded a dairy goat for him, but my other one is also about to come in.
It's farmers, everybody. Don't worry about it. That's normal. Okay. Now, but yeah, she has goats and stuff like that, and this big boy is the guardian, not the girl. But I believe if I remember right, you did. There's your other NGP or GPRS dog. I'm gonna get shot here, everybody.
Yeah, Kiko's
like the
over
color.
here. I think he's off screen, and this is Rufus.
Wow, beautiful.
Wow.
And big. Did I mention he's a big boy?
He's walking on the back of the couch.
He learned that from the cat.
He's walking on the back of the couch.
He'll sit on it too. No,
He's too big to walk on the back of the couch.
Yes. No, he saw me petting the cat, and he really wanted in on it, so he taught himself that.
All right, everybody, Rufus is not for adoption. Just you have to go to it, findanotherdog.com if you want him. All right. But look at this. Oh my goodness. God, he's humongous. And you're
Living the dream.
you're in heaven being smothered by 2 Pyrs. That's all I got to
I
say.
want to go.
Where's my dogs?
You're my love bug. Yeah,
Wow.
he's still pretty young too. He's not quite 2 years old yet, and he's just starting to mature a little bit.
Now he's your goat dog, right? Your
Yes,
farm, your
he is.
working dog.
He's the livestock dog.
It looks to me like he makes a pretty decent couch potato too.
He does. He was
Wow.
supposed to be outdoors, but within, I don't know, half a day of me bringing him home, the hubby picked him up and loved on him and threw him in bed with us, and that was the end of him ever being a full-time goat dog.
Okay, so he comes indoors at night. What happens if the coyotes catch wind of that and they come at night?
He goes, we have a dog door. He goes in and out of the house and patrols, goes out about once an
Okay.
hour. If he hears anything, he's straight outside. And when he barks, there's a reason. So, I know how to listen to him.
Right. He's
There's
got
also
his.
a llama and a pretty sincere hot wire.
Yeah, and that's very a very true statement she just made, especially with the working dogs. They do have their communication abilities also,
Right.
slightly different than what we have in as companions. So,
Pardon me, he's claiming me right now.
all right. So now, now correct me if I'm wrong. Do I remember that Ying gets along with cats too?
We have the barn cats, and yeah, she still chases them a little bit, but they're so mellow, they'll just roll over on the ground and the dogs go up and lick them. I've been very careful because dogs and cats, but the cat's happy with their relationship.
Well, Great Pyrenees typically does not have a prey drive. They
No,
wouldn't make
and
good guardians if they did.
Yeah, they're just
All right.
playing. That's all they want to do is play, play, play.
Yeah. So, all right. So right now she's still having a little bit of trouble getting used to the leash, right?
Yeah, leashes are not her favorite thing. She's very sensitive about anything on the front of her neck. On the back of her neck, she's able to respond without getting upset.
Okay.
So
Now I have a question.
Yeah.
Could part of this you have a couple challenges with her?
Mhm.
Could those be related to all of the distractions you have at your place? Every time you turn around, there's something, a goat baaing or a coyote howling or a dog barking or a cat meow. It's always a distraction and she's a puppy. Could that be part of the issue?
it might be. It's actually not. You just get to see the high points. It actually can be pretty calm around here.
I hadn't seen that in any video I've seen.
Oh, well.
She's going to do this, and Celestia is going to do it because, well, she's a GPRS foster, and that's what they do, and that's what they
Yes.
do best. So,
Yeah, and I mean,
Thank you
we've
for
got
that.
7 dogs here right now, so she's got plenty to learn from. She's already learned enough skills to live happily in this household. She needs someone who's going to help her move on to the next level.
okay.
And I'm perfectly willing to keep her as long as necessary, but this is an awesome dog. Someone is going to love her to pieces.
Yeah. Yeah, and Celestia and I we're gonna talk about on why Ying is struggling in certain areas but not in others. Okay,
Yeah, and right
So-
this second, she's just bored. She's been a very good
and oh yeah, they can easily get bored, but you got a lot to do there. So,
And I don't let her in with the goats. That's a whole nother mindset she doesn't need to worry about.
right, that's right.
You're gonna
And,
come up. My
so-
foster fail is over here being jealous.
Right. Now I know you got a lot of work to do, so we're going to make this short and sweet. Great Pyrenees Rescue Society.org. That's where you want to go if you want to pick up where Celeste and Rufus leaves off. She's going to need a mentor dog. Okay.
She really does. Rufus is very good about teaching the puppies to behave, impressively so.
Yeah. Well, typically as humans, we shouldn't correct dogs because we always screw it up. Only a dog can correct another dog, and Celestia is living that. Okay.
Oh
So,
yeah.
All
All right.
So, yeah, but we always missed a moment as humans because we're just not good at that. They are.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Celestia, thanks for fostering her. Thanks for bringing her on. And sorry we spent so much time with Sadie, but you understand. I get it.
Oh no, that's fine. And this girl she's gonna be good as long as she can.
Oh,
And how big is she now?
She probably weighs 80 pounds or so.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and she's young. My husband carried her, a 2-arm puppy when he brought her home.
Wow.
So this is
Well,
fast. She's growing so fast.
And
Yeah,
how
but-
long has she been at your house?
I'm thinking since December. I'd have to look to be sure. Yes. Hi.
okay.
But yeah, she's doing pretty good today. She's actually doing well. She just needs to go out and have some zoomies with the other dogs.
And I think we'll let you do that now because you've been, you were last. What can I? Well, not last. There's still 2 more dogs, but we brought Sadie up first because I was selfish. That's a good girl now, Sadie, isn't she?
Sadie is precious.
Isn't she? But so are yours, every one of them in their own way. Because you got the perfect pair. Just ask you. You're going to say, "Oh my, all these dogs here are perfect." All right.
They are. So is a little possessive, but you know he's a foster fail. He knows he's special.
Yep, that's right. So, all right. Now, can you stay up for the rest of the show? You got to go to work, and if you do, I'll take you down to the back room. You can exit gracefully, or you can stay up here. It doesn't matter. We got to move on. We got 2 more dogs.
Well, let's get to the other dogs. I'm going to hang out and watch.
Okay, cool. All right. Wow. That way, we can see a little more of Ying. So, we do got to move on here because Levi has something to say too. And we don't want to run completely out of time. I'm sorry, Sadie just took the cake here. I mean, I don't like putting saying a dog's better than another because they're not. There's no such thing. But that one just does it for me. Okay. And
maybe you should
I have the controls. So, we've got a dog that also does it for me too, and she's her foster mom doesn't have the technology to come on the show, and we just don't think it's fair to you all not to be able to see her. All right, so she's going to get adopted, but we want to give everybody a chance. So her name is Lumi, and here's her little video. That's another transformation story, isn't it, Sydney?
Yes, absolutely.
She has a banner too. I forgot to bring. I'll bring them all up periodically here. I forgot to bring Ying's up, but you have notes on her. I have some.
Yeah.
Good. You want to talk about Lumi?
Yes. So, pardon me. Lumi, first of all, is absolutely adored by her foster. And she currently has a foster brother who's a 7-year-old male peer. His name is Einstein. She also has a feline sister that's a Siamese, and she does great with both. So she's kind of she would be a great dog for a family that had multiple pets. So she really she's about 70 pounds now. So she's a great size, and she just has such a sweet little face. I love it.
She looks older than a year, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does have a mature look about her. So it is a surprise to know that she's actually quite young. But she loves affection. She loves to stay near her person. But yeah, she's a good canine citizen in the house with both, dogs and cats, which we often have that question. People want to know how they do with cats in particular. So
and also too, I'd like to add, Sydney, if I can, about the wanting to be with her family. When she came in, apparently before rescue, they had her chained up outside. And she was afraid of people. Okay. And she has transformed from being afraid of them to not wanting them to leave. Okay. Without having separation anxiety, to the best of our knowledge. So another transformation here. That's just amazing with GPRS fosters.
Yeah.
So, and she's young, so a year old. Isn't that something? Chain. Why if you're going to get a puppy and you plan on chaining them up outside, don't do that. Just don't get the puppy. All right. So there's other things you can get instead. You can get a Walkman, a stereo or a computer, but don't get a puppy if you're going to chain it up outside.
And we do have quite a few older puppies that are available for adoption. And I think that's a great segue so that Levi can talk a little bit about, adopting a younger puppy versus adopting an older puppy.
And that's perfect because our next dog coming up is younger than Lumi. And the foster is older than almost God. And he runs ring around us young folks. So, and that's a good lead in for our next dog. And then Levi's going to be up to talk about, is there a difference between a younger puppy and an older puppy? Make no mistake, there's a difference.
Oh, yeah.
The difference is, can you handle it or not? All right. There's no difference because I can't handle any puppy. All right. Personally, I'm too old. There's too much work there. All right.
Ooh, there are a lot of work.
Anyway, our next dog is got an odd name. Her name is Elsa. And her foster dad is named George. So this is George and Elsa. But they have a little video. I actually like this video. It came out good. I like the tune too. So it doesn't sound like it would go good with a puppy, but you judge for yourself. Wow. Elsa's a good looking girl, isn't she?
Absolutely.
There we go. So we want to see if there's any questions. And because if we got questions that come in about Elsa that we can't answer, George has agreed to come on the phone with us. So anyway, this girl is about 4 months old. Didn't know all that much about her because she was with another foster originally for a little while, and I think she was moving or something.
Mhm.
And Sydney probably knows more about Elsa than I do.
Elsa was before she moved to George's. She was with a family that I think they had a 7-year-old daughter, and they just adored one another. They would romp around the yard together, and it was just so cute. So, Elsa is kind of a classic Pyrenees baby, where she's pretty chill for a puppy as far as energy goes. But she's definitely like, you can see her bone structure, those big old legs and fluff.
Oh yeah.
She's going to be a very big, beautiful girl. So, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. That's going to be a good size for a female pair.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's nice to know. People appreciate knowing that, because that a puppy has already been around younger kids. And because a lot of times people have the idea of, we have kids of a certain age, we'd love to adopt a puppy and we want them to be able to grow up together, which sometimes that's not very realistic. But I think, it's really valuable for folks to know that Elsa's already been really lovely with, a foster 7-year-old.
Yeah. That Anatolian Shepherd that she's with, now they're both on leashes at lines, as you can see. He has a fenced in yard, but, she's new to him and he wanted to be able to not have a problem. So,
yeah.
But think about this for a second. That Anatolian Shepherd is also a puppy. And he's fostering that dog for the Anatolian Shepherd rescue. So this 82-year-old man has 2 puppy fosters. And I whine with 2 dogs, okay? But obviously I have more than that. But way to go, George. Thank you for fostering like that. And it's not only fosters, he transports all around the country. I met him many years ago in Columbus, Ohio. He lives in Texas. So I did, and I knew who he was back then. He's been doing it since 2005. This man has saved a lot of dogs.
Yeah, he's a hero.
He's a legend up here in our area. I'm pretty sure Levi's actually heard of him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And I know that we're going over time a little bit, but I think it's worth it to hear Levi talk about younger puppies versus older puppies.
And you're up, Levi. What is the difference between a younger puppy and an older puppy to adopt? And why do we even need to care?
Oh, absolutely. So certainly that I think a fair amount of people will want like the baby puppies because they think, oh, I want this puppy for as long as possible. I want them when they're at their cutest. But that's also when we typically see them at their most immature and or their naughtiest. With your puppies, you've got a lot more management to do because that's a lot of their success comes from your management, so that they can end it on a good note, or that they don't accidentally succeed and leave a hole in your carpet that now the apartment's going to find because you went to the bathroom for like 5 minutes too long. So I have to patch that. I could not wait for my boy to not be a puppy anymore, personally speaking, but they're super, super cute. When you're getting a little bit of an older puppy, especially probably out of your 6-7 month range, you're getting one that can, typically speaking, and look at the dog in front of you, not the dog you think you're getting, not the dog you think you want, and not the dog you had 20 years ago. But typically when they're over that 6-7 month hump, they're often able to be alone a little longer. You don't have to wonder where they are every 5 seconds that they're not in sight. You don't have to listen to them chewing on your cupboards that I also have to patch now. And I have a hole in one of my sink cupboards. He has learned if he opens it up that I will come running.
And that's how he summons me now. So I was really excited for him not to be a baby puppy. But one of the biggest things, of course, everybody, well, not everybody, of course, a lot of people, again, are going to want that super ultra cute baby factor. But that's not all it's cracked up to be. I would say, especially if you're getting a puppy, you really want to have at least somebody home with them almost as much as possible for probably their first 3-4 months, because of how much management and attendance they need. Certainly, people have success stories of saying, "Oh, I left mine at home all by themselves for 8 hours straight." Like, I'm glad for you, but I super don't recommend that. Especially to keep setting up success. And then once they get a little older and they can be alone a little longer, they don't need bathroom breaks every 15 minutes. Then that's where you'll see a lot easier time of bonding or getting along with your dogs, and a lot less frustration. Does that answer some questions or anything I missed there?
Yeah, I think that's lovely. Thank you, Levi. And we do have several older puppies and that are available for adoption, and it's so sad that people discount them because they're looking for that visual baby factor. And I just encourage people, think about their personality match. That's what we're looking for. And that's what adopters should be looking for. But that's, as a rescue, that's what we're looking for. And I have a foster that I've had since January, and he's about 10 months now. And just to address, I can leave him home now because I've done the work. I can leave him now with my dogs. I have to take the garbage and put it in the sink. I can't leave it in the cupboard because he'll get bored. But he doesn't chew on anything. I can go run errands, be gone for a couple hours, and he's just about 10 months old, and he's actually trustworthy. But there's so much monitoring, as you were sharing, when they're really little, when they're really young. And there's just so much monitoring and work that has to be, because they're a baby.
Yeah, oh yeah. They're babies, just like with human babies. You don't leave them around electric sockets and cords and other things that they could probably hurt themselves on. Puppies are notoriously curious, which is fine, but curiosity and boredom often turn into destruction. And so, while certainly someday in the future, I will definitely have another puppy someday, that is not something I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for another puppy. At the time that I had my boy as a puppy, I was at least in a situation that I didn't have to, or I didn't have a job until he was about 4 or 5 months old. So I was fortunate in that regard that I did get to spend so much time working with him and helping him mostly succeed. The parts that he didn't succeed were entirely, completely me. Our dogs do not choose the wrong behavior. Your puppies do not make destructive habits on purpose because they want to be naughty. They're just
I can elaborate a little bit because I don't want you to struggle here. First of all, you just heard a certified professional dog trainer, a behavior consultant, talk about puppies in somewhat of a way saying we're not going to have one because they're a lot of work. Okay. Just goes to show that behaviorists and trainers don't walk on water here. Their dogs can have struggles. Part 2, unwanted behavior is in the eyes of the beholder. If the behavior is okay with you, then don't do anything. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. Just like his dogs, he gets a little bit embarrassed periodically because something they're doing he's okay with, but he's afraid somebody else wouldn't be. Right? Okay. So what his dogs do, make no mistake, most of what he's good for, except I don't think he wanted him to eat his cupboard door, but I get that part. But
the carpet's the problem.
And then with puppies, also too, one of the older puppies, when you get an older puppy, one of the only disadvantages I can see is that sometimes, not all the time, the behavior you see is created from the human that had him at a younger age. Okay?
Yes, so that's a really good point to make, is that you can see learned behavior in some older puppies that somebody else already set them up to to do there. Whereas oftentimes with a puppy, you may have a better chance of instilling those new habits, or at least preventing the older ones from coming back, because in theory there's a lack of older ones. The benefit of the older puppy as well, though, is that they have a better attention span to then teach and help reinforce.
Yes. I mean, it's got its plus and minuses, and there's really no one over the other. Okay.
Yeah, it's just whatever you're prepared to work with.
Right. Yeah, and that's it. Both of them, you have to give knowledge. You have to give them knowledge, okay? And then so far as a young puppy and now an older puppy, and you've got the prior behaviors that was taught, that's not always true, because when you move a guardian breed, it destabilizes them because they rely heavily on stability, okay? And that's why they patrol the fence line 80 times a day. All right? They're making sure everything's where they left it the last time they patrolled. Okay. You just wait one time, let a squirrel pee there once, and he come around and check it. Oh boy, that's that. He ain't moving that spot until he deems it safe. Okay. So but now when you move a new dog into your home, say a 9-month-old, okay, and that dog's got all these behaviors, well, he's all upside down. He doesn't know the rules, and you start giving him knowledge, and things start leveling out a little bit. Now, the learned behaviors from before will now have to be triggered, but they can still come back if we trigger a memory of it, because a trigger doesn't have to be a bad thing. It could be a good memory too. And they say, "Oh, hi, I remember, but you don't look like my old mom, but okay, I'm going to be all over you anyway." That's what can also happen. So you always be aware that you don't want to be unreasonable of what you expect out of the dogs.
Yeah, and one last little thing that I will say about GPRS right now. I think all of the older puppies that we have actually been in foster homes for many months. So they're not, so that's another benefit I think that I just wanted to highlight, is that I do think that all of the ones that are older puppies that we have right now have been being acclimated to a home and being, invested in by their fosters for several months. Right. We go through time periods, all dog rescues do, where it's like puppy season, and we have tons and tons of mamas that are having puppies, and it's no fault of these older puppies that they haven't found a home yet. Sometimes it's just like there were more puppies than there were adopters, and that during that time period. And so the puppies have just continued to live with their fosters and get older. And so the benefit is, my goodness, they've been taught all of these wonderful things and had that stability and consistency in a foster home, so that they will have an easier transition to a forever home.
Absolutely. And make no mistake, the Great Pyrenees Rescue Society's got some of the finest fosters in the country. Doesn't mean the other rescues don't. It just means I'm familiar with them now. I've been working with GPRS for about over a year now, haven't I? And I work with 5 of them. And GPRS is structured, very well structured, knowledgeable, very knowledgeable foster homes, very good foster homes. And so when you get a dog from GPRS and there's some behavior, don't wait till you're at your wit's end. I don't want to hear that, because I'm going to say, what took you so long to call? If you're having some behavior that you don't know how to deal with it, don't be embarrassed. Reach out for help. They will help you. Okay. They have all kinds of resources. And because the dog's going to be upside down, he's not going to know where he is, who you are, and most importantly, where his previous family is. Okay. So he's going to be a little confused. That's not a bad thing. Not at all, because they've raised the bar. They've made it easy for you. They've raised the bar on what he has to expect when he goes to the adopter. So the transition sometimes goes quicker in some areas, but it's still up to the dog. What do you have to say about that one, Levi?
No, I think that's a really accurate point. Is like when they have been with their foster families a little longer, is that we also see a more familiar set-in that they've had. And so if they get their new transitional period with their new family, hopefully their forever family, is that they may go like, well, what happened? What went wrong? Where am I now? Why is this happening? And so if that means that whether this displacement is, I guess, depending on how it affects the new family, definitely, don't wait last second and just be like, well, this is a bad dog. Why did I get this dog? The sooner you can reach out and we can help you redirect the behavior and turn it into something new,
Right.
or help you reconnect in a different way. We're not,
or we can look at it a different way too.
Oh, yeah,
maybe
we can look at it a
it's not
different
a
way.
bad dog. Maybe it's not a bad dog.
Oh, but the sooner that we can help you essentially keep the behavior from getting stronger, getting worse, changing altogether in a not great way, the sooner that we can help you guys with your connection and your bond.
Yep. Bill, Claudia says it's a darn shame that Sadie's not more relaxed than what she is. That hyperness has got to stop.
Yeah, she's bouncing off the walls.
Wow. All right, everybody. Wow, we really ran on overtime, and that means you got to add some zeros to those paychecks, right? To go with the rest of the zeros.
Yep.
Everybody here is volunteers. Great Pyrenees Rescue Society is a volunteer organization. Everybody does this on their own time for a different reason. All right. And you got to appreciate that too. So if you send anybody that's a volunteer a message and they don't respond right away, just be calm, because you don't know what they've got going on. They do a lot of work. All right. So
be calm like Sadie.
Be understanding. Or they might be ignoring you too. You never know.
If it's me, it's because it's getting to the season where my goats are having babies. Lots of goats about to come.
Wow.
I've got one on the ground, and there will be more very soon. So I'm on in fact, I've been on the barn camera while we've been doing this show, because I have a little girl that's ready to pop.
Okay, I'm glad you didn't share that with us. All right. Now, Patty has a question probably for Sydney. Question: is a 6-foot fence a must-have? We have 4 foot plus on two sides. That makes it a 4-foot fence. So the fence is only as tall as your lowest point. And that's going to depend on the dog, isn't it, Sydney?
It is. Probably what we will do is say, is there a way that you can extend it a foot on those two panels? Yeah. Because really, a 5-foot fence is going to be plenty for most. A 4-foot fence, sometimes we don't have any dogs who would be okay and safe in a 4-foot fence.
If you got an gosh, 4-foot fence is just like no fence.
Right. I mean, yeah, my foster puppy would hop over that in a hot second.
Yeah, that's right. You have
yeah. So that's the thing, is if you have a fence that's only 4 feet high, do you have the ability to extend the height? Because we're a rescue. We are very protective of our dogs. We always want them to be safe. So many of our dogs are strays and have gotten out of fencing that is not strong enough or too short. But yes, as Rena says, we can test some dogs if we think there might be a personality match. We can test and see if a dog is going to be okay in a 4-foot fence.
But it's going to narrow your search. I mean, it's going to make it hard. It's going to be not just every dog. Okay.
Yeah. So if you trust to work with us through the process, it might take a little bit longer to find a dog. But know that, gosh, this is a group of volunteers who are devoted and passionate for finding these dogs a great home. So we definitely are happy to put the time in to check out all of these things.
Right. They'll run the application through its course. Okay. And
that Pyrenees at the daycare, Dad just told us she can clear an 8-foot fence, so now she cannot be alone outside anymore by herself.
And
so
awesome. We had a dog on the show here one time that they had a 5-foot fence, and that was like no fence for that particular dog.
Yep.
Okay. So what do we do? The dog had a foothold. You take away the opportunities and you make it a little more difficult. Some Pyrs, the harder it is, the more they're going to get it done. Some Pyrs, if it gets too hard, they're going to stop. Okay. But once again, it all depends on the dog. Can they be taught not to go over a fence? We have been effective with quite a few of them. Yes. I'm not going to say 100%. If there's a better reason to stay on this side of the fence, that we can say we can help with. But if there's a good reason to go on the other side of the fence, that's going to get a little challenging. So you can make it more inviting to stay home, and that's a constant effort the entire life of your relationship with your dog. You always want them to be here instead of there. So it's actually not hard. So, thank you, Patty, for your question. So, what is that we're looking at?
Goat. Oh, goat.
Goat. I was going to say that is a one ugly Pyr.
I was like, is that a Rottweiler? What is that?
He's an 8-day-old baby. He's blood.
So I'm going to come to your house because I love goats. So I want to come visit you.
Now, how many goats do you have, Celestia?
There's things you don't ask a woman, okay?
Okay, well, never mind. I won't ask.
There is, I think, I've
over
got 38.
38. Okay.
On the 38 here, and I've got more farmed out. I've got brush goats. I've got some goats.
Now, to clarify, Celestia lives on a farm and she runs a goat farm, and she has other animals also. I think you mentioned alpaca and
one alpaca, one llama, 3 pets.
But she's a foster home. Her dog, Ying, is not an LGD working dog. Period. Nope. Matter of fact, none of yours are. You clarified that. Even Rufus, he comes in at night.
He does. He's a farm dog. He comes and goes, but he's not a livestock dog.
Right. So just remember that. So because Great Pyrenees Rescue Society typically does not send a dog out as a working dog because, first of all, they can't guarantee it. Then what? What happens if he fails? That's why he probably came to the rescue anyway, because he failed once before as a farm dog.
Mm-hmm.
So, and neither me nor Levi, we do anything with the working dogs. We don't. Correct. We are not credentialed for that in any way. There are places. Northwest Guardians up in Montana does that. There's places. Okay. So, anyway, now we're 25 minutes over almost.
Let's wrap this up.
And Sadie's been very patient with us. Ying hasn't. She's out of there.
She left.
Ying is taking a nap, all 3 of them.
Oh, we put Ying to sleep too?
She's...
If you want to put it that way, right?
I need to provide proof.
Oh, my. She sleeps with her eyes open, doesn't she?
Actually, she does sometimes. We can talk about that later.
Well,
I've got mine telling me we're 20 minutes over.
Yeah, everybody's heard the term, you sleep with one eye open. Well, the Pyrs sleep with one ear up.
Yep.
Guardian breed. All right, everybody. Let me get back to the section where we can stop being live. And we actually have people viewing still, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Good for them.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you for hanging in there with all this craziness here. All right, everybody, say goodbye. Celestia, Bill,
Bye.
thank you
for
coming on. And
Sadie's awake.
Sadie's got her head up. She's up.
Yeah.
Okay. She moved. Bye, everybody.
Oh, she's down.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's try this one.